Hi everyone, it's Susan Winter here. Those of you who are subscribers, thanks for coming back to my channel. I really appreciate your participation and all your great commentary. If you're new and you like what you see and what you hear, please press the little red heart. I would appreciate that quite a bit. So I want to talk today for those of you who are partnered, coupled, newly in a relationship, seeing someone special, or in a long-term marriage. Very often, we will fall into patterns to create a sense of calm. And what I'd like you to think about today, when there's an issue, when there's a conflict, when your partner is irritable or cranky or feeling moody and not nice, what happens? How does that situation get resolved? I mean, ideally, it'd be great if you two talk about it and you can talk it out rationally. But we're dealing with human beings and we're dealing with emotions, so I have to assume that there could be a default position for which you have both found your own way. I just want to make sure that your default is where you want to be. So the question is, your partner's moody, irritated, and they snap at you. What is your first instinct? Do you snap back and start in for the fight? Are you ready to just double down and protect yourself and terrify them? Or are you the person who automatically pulls back and your default is to apologize, to try to mitigate the situation, smooth it over by coddling them or even asking for forgiveness for something that you really didn't do? I'm basically driving the second scenario home because most of the people that I work with, and ladies, surprisingly, most of them are men, will default to trying to keep the peace, even if it means apologizing for something they didn't do. So what I'd like you to be aware of is the next time you have some kind of an argument or discord with the person you're seeing or your spouse, what is your automatic response? Do you automatically go toe-to-toe? If you're rational, and if you have an argument that's strong, that's a good boundary. I would suggest do it with tact and diplomacy. Remember, if a person is put on the defensive, they will never, ever hear your argument. So if you want your argument to be absorbed, you're going to have to state it in a way that they do not feel they have to defend you, because then they'll be pushing away everything, including the information you're trying to give them. So if you are first to snap back and protect your boundaries and correct the issue, then I'd ask you to take a breath, be incredibly diplomatic, and watch your language very carefully. Be articulate as to what is said and what the facts are, and drive home a conclusion or a solution. Engage your partner and ask them for their assistance and negotiate as though you are collaborating on a project. That's an effective way for your snapback, okay? And for the rest of you, I'm expecting that the rest of the people watching this fall into the second group, which is that you immediately start to defend yourself, try to correct their position, and that you are taken aback because this is something you didn't do and you don't know why they're so irritated and why they're taking it out on you. In this case, you need boundaries. You can't default. If you see yourself, watch yourself in the next week or so, and if you're the one who constantly pulls back and tries to coddle them, be aware of it and make up your mind to do something differently. Make up your mind to have a boundary and say, oh, I see you're upset, but this is not my issue. How can I help you? You've got to put the responsibility back on them. There are far too many people that just want to leak their poison out onto us, and they just want to get rid of it, and they don't realize the impact. But you cannot, as a partner, afford to continue to take in the position of what I call bad doggy. I have so many guy friends that have a woman that they love, who loves them, who constantly is attacking them. They didn't sleep well. The guy's tossing and turning in bed, bah, 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 bah. Screaming at him, yelling at him, and he goes out into the room and lies on a couch and, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want you to be a chump, Male, female, I don't care what, just don't be a chump. You have to pick your battles wisely and know when there's a boundary. If there's a legitimate argument, it should be had on the table, meaning you put the situation on the table, and just like I gave you in the former reference, you two talk it out and negotiate what the solution will be. But to have an arbitrary decision that somebody decides you're bad and wrong because they're irritated with whatever is going on or they're having a bad day, this is not allowable. And what you need to do, instead of going to your default of backing down and kind of trying to manage their bad mood, is to stop, reassess it. If you have to say, that's not fair. Where are you coming from? Where's this coming from? Putting the responsibility back on them. You see, what I've realized with you, in particular, my viewers, is that you're highly, highly intelligent, both emotionally and intellectually, and you have a lot of psychological knowledge, so you tend to really be good about calling your own self out for where you can improve. But oftentimes you will just defer to the more passive position, and then you get stuck in bad doggy. And once a partner learns that they can put you into bad doggy corner and start punishing you for their bad, behavior or their bad mood, it is very hard to break it. So I want you to be very cautious and be aware. Just the first week or so that you've heard this video, just observe. And observe especially your immediate impulse to defend and coddle their emotions, to soothe them so they won't attack. Because there is a better way. We put the responsibility back on our mate. Okay? I hope this has helped you. Thank you very much. Love you, subscribers. And if you want to make a video request, go to the contact page. Go to the button that says video request. Don't write media. We trash it. That's only for press. Video request. Thank you. And if you want to hear this instead of watching it, look into the iTunes Susan Winters Show. Thanks a lot, everyone.